The Spirit of Juneteenth, A Journey Through Faith and Freedom. Opening scene, soft instrumental music plays in the background. The camera focuses on the host standing in a serene outdoor setting. Host, greetings and salutations to all our viewers. Welcome to Freestyle Interfaith. We explore the intersections of faith, culture, and humanity. Today, we gather to reflect on a significant moment in American history, Juneteenth. This day, celebrated on June 19th, marks the emancipation of enslaved African Americans. It embodies the enduring spirit of freedom and justice. As we delve into this profound topic, we will draw from various faith traditions and philosophies. We will highlight how the principles of love, justice, and liberation resonate across cultures and religions. Let us embark on this journey together. Section 1. The historical context of Juneteenth and its evolution. Host. To understand the significance of Juneteenth, we must first explore its historical context. On June 19, 1865, Union soldiers, led by Major General Gordon Granger, arrived in Galveston, Texas. They announced General Order No. 3. This order informed the people of Texas that all enslaved people were free. This was 2.5 years after President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation. The delay was not merely a matter of logistics. It was a reflection of the deep-seated resistance to freedom for Black Americans. The period immediately following Reconstruction was a time of radical hope. Freed people established schools, churches, and civic organizations. They laid the foundation for Black autonomy. However, this progress was brutally countered by the rise of Jim Crow, systemic violence, and economic disenfranchisement through sharecropping. For decades, Juneteenth remained a regional observance. It was a day of prayer, family reunions, and communal storytelling. It was a day to pass down the oral histories that textbooks omitted. In the mid-20th century, during the Civil Rights Movement, the day gained renewed political energy. It served as a reminder that the struggle for legal rights was a continuation of the quest for the liberty announced in 1865. The evolution from a local Texas celebration to a federal holiday in 2021 marks a national acknowledgement of the incomplete work of liberation. Today, it stands as a bridge between the historical reality of slavery and the contemporary fight for equity. It challenges us to reckon with the past while demanding a more just future. Section 2. Champions of Freedom, Honoring Those Who Advance the Movement. Host. As we reflect on the journey from slavery to civil rights, we must pause to honor the extraordinary individuals who carried forward the torch of liberation. These champions of freedom transformed the promise of Juneteenth into tangible progress. Their courage, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment to justice continue to inspire us today. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the moral voice of a movement. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stands as one of the most eloquent and powerful voices for justice in American history. His philosophy of nonviolent resistance, rooted deeply in his Christian faith and inspired by Mahatma Gandhi, provided a moral framework for the civil rights movement. Dr. King understood that the struggle for Black freedom was not merely a political battle. It was a spiritual crusade for the soul of America. His I Have a Dream speech, delivered on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in 1963, painted a vision of an America where people would be judged by the content of their character rather than the color of their skin. This vision was not simply aspirational rhetoric. It was a prophetic call to action. Dr. King challenged the nation to live up to its founding ideals. He reminded us that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Dr. King's work extended beyond desegregation. He connected racial justice to economic justice and peace. His opposition to the Vietnam War and his Poor People's Campaign demonstrated his understanding that true freedom requires addressing poverty, militarism, and racism simultaneously. His assassination in 1968 was a devastating loss. Yet his legacy continues to guide those who seek to complete the unfinished work of liberation that began on that first Juneteenth. Malcolm X, the uncompromising voice for Black dignity. Malcolm X, born Malcolm Little and later known as El Hajj Malik el-Shabazz, offered a different but equally vital perspective on Black liberation. His journey from street hustler to Nation of Islam minister to Orthodox Muslim and human rights advocate reflects the complexity of the Black freedom struggle. Malcolm X refused to accept gradualism or compromise when it came to Black dignity and self-determination. His famous declaration, "By any means necessary," was not a call to mindless violence. It was an assertion of the right to self-defense and self-determination. Malcolm challenged Black Americans to reclaim their history, their identity, and their power. He spoke uncomfortable truths about white supremacy and systemic oppression. He demanded that America confront the depth of its racial sins. Malcolm's pilgrimage to Mecca transformed his understanding of racial solidarity. He came to see the struggle for Black liberation as part of a global human rights movement. His willingness to evolve, to question his own beliefs, and to build coalitions across racial and religious lines demonstrates the intellectual courage required for true liberation. His assassination in 1965 silenced a powerful voice, but his call for Black pride, self-sufficiency, and uncompromising resistance to oppression continues to resonate today. President John Fitzgerald Kennedy, the reluctant convert to justice. President John F. Kennedy's relationship with the civil rights movement was complex and evolved significantly during his presidency. Initially cautious about alienating Southern Democrats, Kennedy gradually came to understand that civil rights was not merely a political issue. It was a moral imperative. The images of police brutality against peaceful protesters in Birmingham in 1963 moved him to action. In June 1963, Kennedy delivered a televised address to the nation in which he declared civil rights a moral issue as old as the scriptures and as clear as the American Constitution. He called on Congress to pass comprehensive civil rights legislation. He acknowledged that America could not claim to be the land of the free while denying basic rights to its Black citizens. Though Kennedy did not live to see the passage of the Civil Rights Act, his moral leadership helped shift national consciousness. His willingness to use federal power to protect civil rights activists and enforce desegregation orders demonstrated that presidential leadership matters in the fight for justice. President Lyndon Baines Johnson, the legislative champion, President Lyndon B. Johnson transformed Kennedy's vision into legislative reality. Despite his Texas roots and earlier opposition to civil rights legislation, Johnson became one of the most effective champions of racial justice to occupy the White House. Using his legendary political skills, Johnson pushed through the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which outlawed discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. But Johnson didn't stop there. In 1965, following the brutal attacks on voting rights marchers in Selma, Alabama, Johnson addressed Congress and the nation. He declared, "We shall overcome," adopting the anthem of the civil rights movement as his own. The Voting Rights Act of 1965, which he signed into law, dismantled the legal barriers that had prevented Black Americans from exercising their constitutional right to vote. Johnson's Great Society programs, including the establishment of Medicare, Medicaid, and Head Start, were designed to address the economic inequalities that slavery and segregation had created. He understood that legal equality without economic opportunity was insufficient. Johnson once said that signing the Civil Rights Act cost the Democratic Party the South for a generation, yet he believed it was the right thing to do. His legislative legacy represents a high watermark in the federal government's commitment to racial justice. Fannie Lou Hamer, the grassroots prophet. Fannie Lou Hamer's powerful voice and indomitable spirit embodied the grassroots nature of the civil rights movement. Born into a sharecropping family in Mississippi, Hamer experienced the brutal realities of economic and racial oppression firsthand. When she attempted to register to vote in 1962, she was fired from her job and evicted from the plantation where she had worked for 18 years. Rather than retreat, she became a full-time civil rights activist. Hamer's testimony at the 1964 Democratic National Convention brought national attention to the violence and intimidation that Black Mississippians faced when trying to exercise their right to vote. Her question, "Is this America?" challenged the nation's conscience. She described being arrested and brutally beaten simply for attending a voter registration workshop. Her courage in speaking truth to power was extraordinary. As a co-founder of the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party, Hamer challenged the all-white Mississippi delegation at the Democratic Convention. She fought not just for the right to vote, but for genuine political representation and power. Her famous declaration, "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired," captured the frustration and determination of millions of Black Americans. Hamer understood that freedom required economic justice. She established the Freedom Farm Cooperative to provide food security and economic opportunity for poor families in Mississippi. Her legacy reminds us that the most powerful voices for change often come from those who have experienced oppression most directly. The Black Panther Party, Self-Defense and Community Service. The Black Panther Party, founded in 1966 by Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale in Oakland, California, represented a bold assertion of Black power and self-determination. While often mischaracterized as simply militant or violent, the Panthers developed a comprehensive program to address the needs of Black communities. Their 10-point program demanded full employment, decent housing, education, and an end to police brutality. The Panthers armed patrols to monitor police behavior in Black neighborhoods, were exercises in constitutional rights and community self-defense. But their most enduring legacy may be their community service programs. The Panthers established free breakfast programs for children, health clinics, schools, and food distribution programs. These survival programs demonstrated that revolutionary change required meeting people's immediate needs while building power for long-term transformation. The Panthers' emphasis on political education, their international perspective connecting Black liberation to anti-colonial struggles worldwide, and their willingness to build coalitions across racial lines represented an evolution in Black freedom struggles. Though government repression, internal conflicts, and leadership challenges led to the party's decline, their model of community-based organizing and service continues to inspire activists today. The Panthers understood that the spirit of Juneteenth required not just celebrating freedom, but actively building the institutions and power necessary to make freedom meaningful. Schwerner, Goodman, and Cheney, The Price of Solidarity. The murders of James Cheney, Andrew Goodman, and Michael Schwerner in Mississippi in 1964 demonstrate both the deadly violence that defended white supremacy and the power of interracial solidarity. Cheney, a young Black man from Mississippi, along with Goodman and Schwerner, two young Jewish men from New York, were working to register Black voters during Freedom Summer. Their disappearance and the subsequent discovery of their bodies shocked the nation. These three young men, united in their commitment to justice, paid the ultimate price for their activism. Their deaths helped galvanize support for the Voting Rights Act of 1965. They embodied the principle that the struggle for Black freedom is not just a Black struggle. It is a human struggle that requires people of all backgrounds to stand together against injustice. The participation of Goodman and Schwerner, along with hundreds of other white volunteers in Freedom Summer, demonstrated that people of conscience could cross racial lines to fight for justice. Their sacrifice reminds us that solidarity requires risk. It requires putting one's body on the line for principles larger than oneself. We honor their memory by continuing the work they died for, ensuring that every American can exercise their fundamental rights without fear. End of Part 1. Bridging Statement. Host. We have journeyed through the history of Juneteenth and honored the extraordinary champions who transformed the promise of freedom into reality. From Dr. King's moral vision to Malcolm X's uncompromising demand for dignity, from presidential leadership to grassroots power, from community service to ultimate sacrifice, these heroes showed us what courage looks like. But history and heroes are only part of the story. The spirit of Juneteenth calls us not just to remember, but to act. It challenges us to examine our own faith traditions and ask, what do they teach us about freedom? How do these teachings inspire us today? And most importantly, what is our role in continuing the work of liberation? In Part 2, we will explore how different faith traditions understand freedom, hear personal testimonies from people living out these principles, and discover concrete ways we can honor Juneteenth through action. The journey continues. Stay with us. Soft music plays as the screen fades to a transition slide indicating Part 2 coming next.